All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off saying call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harikak Wadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, my elder Herwan as well. Salutations to the argument that pushes the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm Khalak Shalom by Yashar from the Lions of the Yashar camp. And this is in addition to the intro spiritual hydration that I did the other day on Fear Not, I Will Help Thee. Um, so this is the first part that I'm going into when Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, came in and up against Hezekiah and tried to overtake it after they took down Lachish in 701 BC, if I'm not mistaken, and was basically trying to convince everybody to like nobody would be able to save us out of his hand, and that's exactly the type of situation we're going to be up against when you know Esau and the system pushes forth that the Mot B, the Michael C hip, which is the Revelation 13 and 16. It's gonna make it seem like the same way they did with Nebuchadnezzar with Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael with the fiery furnace. And they're gonna make it seem like there's no way out, right? And we have no hope. But we have to remember the words of Yahweh Shema Oshai. So this is part is going to with the speech that that the servants, the host that Sennacherib sent against Jerusalem, and the next part I'm gonna go into Hezekiah's response. All right, Lord, one this lesson edifying and serve His purpose for the hopeful elect and ones who truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, so this I want to start with this is Deuteronomy 32 and 15. It says, "But Yesharon waxed fat and kicked, thou art waxed fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Yahweh which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation." Right. You know, and that's us. Every time we would prosper, and the Lord would like beautify us or whatever, um, we would turn our backs on the Lord and turn to other gods, which don't even really exist. You know, um, so then that would provoke the Lord to anger. All right, verse 16 it says, "They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to Yahweh, to the gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom their fathers feared not." Right. So, and you're still seeing this happen to this day. And that's what causes the Lord to get pissed off and send these other nations upon us, according to Deuteronomy 28. You know, that if you come from verse 15 all the way down to 68, it talks about all the curses that the Lord's going to put on upon us for not listening. Matter of fact, let's go to a couple of them. All right. It says, Deuteronomy 20 and 15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right. He said, "Cursed thou shalt be in the city, and cursed thou shalt be in the field. Cursed shall be by thy basket and thy storehouse and thy store." All right. So we're going to be cursed everywhere we go. You know. Let me get to a good one. Um. Okay. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 25. It says, "Thou shalt be, the Lord shall curse thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee seven ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth." And that's what happened. All right. But this particular time, the Lord wouldn't allow Sennacherib to come up against us. Just like now, the Lord's not going to allow Esau to be able to do anything to his elect. That's according to Amos chapter 9. All right, so let's get to it. Let's go Second Kings chapter 18 verse 13. It says, hold on. We'll start at verse 11. It says, and the king of Assyria did carry away Israel unto Assyria and put them in Halaya and in Harbor by the river of Gozan and in the cities of the Medes, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord their power, but transgressed his covenant, and all that Moses the servant of the Lord commanded, and would not hear them or do them. It said, now in the 14th year of the king of Hezekiah, of year of King Hezekiah, did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, come up against all that fenced the city of Judah and took them. And Hezekiah, king of Judah, sent to the king of Assyria to Lachish, saying, I have offended, return from me, that which thou puttest on me will I bear. And the king of Assyria appointed unto Hezekiah kings of Judah 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave him all the silver that was found in the house of the Lord and in the treasures of the king's house. At that time did Hezekiah cut out the gold from the doors of the temple and of the Lord, and from the pillars which Hezekiah king of Judah had overlaid, and gave them to the king of Assyria. And the king of Assyria sent Tartan and Rabsaris and Rabsakeh from Lachish to King Hezekiah with a great host against Jerusalem. And they went up and came to Jerusalem. And when they were come up, they came and stood by the conduit of the upper pool, which is in the highways of the fuller's field. All right. It says, and when they had called to the king, there came out to them Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, which was over the household, and Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the recorder. And Rabshakeh said unto them, speak ye now to Hezekiah, thus saith the great king. The great king of Assyria, which confidence is in, is this, wherein thou trustest. Right? So now they're going to begin to say, don't trust in Hezekiah, because Hezekiah going to get y'all killed. Y'all better, ain't nobody going to, they're giving a message saying that ain't nobody going to be able to save us out of the king, Sennacherib's hand. All right, it says, thou sayest, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for the war. Now on whom doest thou trust, that thou rebellest against me? See, he's boasting himself up like, why you rebel? Who you going to trust? You going to trust Hezekiah? It says, now behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, it will break into his hand. Because our people were trying to go back to Egypt at one point in time also. It says, and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, unto all that trust him. So he was basically saying, you ain't nowhere we can go. Ain't nobody gonna, the same thing that was said in the third verse of the Star Spangled Banner. Like this is one of the real reasons. That's like kind of the reason why the uh the idea came about to do this lesson. Because I was speaking to Zaquan about the lesson I'm going to do, and as I was reading him the third verse of the Star Spangled Banner national anthem, he was like that was the same thing that Sennacherib was saying unto Hezekiah and the children of Israel, unto us, really. It says, verse 22, it says, but if ye say unto me, we trust in the Lord our power, in Yahweh, Is not that he whose high place and whose altars Hezekiah hath taken away, and hath said to Judah and Jerusalem, Ye shall worship before the altar in Jerusalem? Now therefore I pray thee, give pledge to my lord the king of Assyria, and I will deliver thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able to on thy part to set riders upon them. How then wilt thou turn away from the face of one captain of the least of the master's servants, and put thy trust on Egypt for chariots and for horsemen? Right? So they're telling them like ain't nobody's gonna be able to save us. Like saying the Lord can't save us, Egypt couldn't save us. All right, it says verse 25. And now and am I now come up without the Lord against the place to destroy it? The Lord said to me, Go up against this land and destroy it. Then said Lord Atonement. It said, Then said Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and Shebna and Joah unto Rabshakeh, Speak, I pray thee, to thy servants in the Syrian language, for we understand it, and talk not with us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people that are on the wall. It says, Then Rabshakeh said unto them, Have my master sent me to thy master, and to he to speak these words? Hath he not sent me to the men which sitteth on the wall, that they may eat their own dung and drink their own piss with you? Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice to the Jews in the Jews' language, and spake, saying, Hear the word of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus saith the king, Let not Hezekiah deceive you. He shall not be able to deliver you out of his hand. Right. So that's why the scripture said, Let no man deceive you with vain words, because these are the kind of tactics that Esau's going to use when that time comes, when they're trying to, force their new world order agenda. It says, Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying the Lord will suddenly deliver us. See, that's what they want us to feel like the Lord ain't going to come deliver us, man. But the Lord said, Fear not, say, I will help thee. It says, Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Yahweh, saying that Yahweh will surely deliver us, and this city shall not be delivered into the hands of the king of Assyria. But he, and was it Azariah? I think it was Azariah. Was asked why they didn't bow down to the statue of Nebuchadnezzar, and he said straight up that he's not going to be careful with the choice of words that he chooses to say to the king. And he said that he said the Lord shall deliver us, but he said also even if the Lord will not deliver us, then he's still not going to bow down to the statue. So even if we have to, even if we're presented with death, we still have to maintain and hold our integrity in the Lord, man, because we know that either way it goes, we're going to be in his safe hands. Verse 31, it says, Hearken not to Hezekiah, for thus saith the king of Assyria, Make an agreement with me by a present, and come out to me, and then eat ye every man his own wine, and every one his own fig tree, and drink every one his own waters of this cistern. Right, but we're gonna be fed of Yahweh by Shema Shai physically and spiritually. It says, Until I come and take you away to a land like your own, a land of corn and wine, a land of bread and see that's the same thing that the devil tried to offer Yahweh Shai. Try to offer him all these good things, but you know what I'm saying? But what what did Yahweh Shai return to say? We all should worship the Lord thy power only. All right? It says, A land of olive oil, of honey, that ye may live and not die. But we're only getting to get everlasting life through Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. And hearken not unto Hezekiah when he persuaded you, saying the Lord will deliver us. Right, but we know the Lord's going to deliver us. Has any of the gods of the nations delivered at all his land out of the hands of the king of Syria? Because he had took down all these other nations. He was puffed up, thinking that he can't be stopped. Where are the gods of Hamath? Where are the gods of Arpad? Where are the gods of Shipper, Harvium, Hena, and Iva? Have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who are they among all the gods of the country that have delivered their country out of mine hand? That the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand. Right, so he talking all that crap, but really, you know what I'm saying? What it really he's bringing judgment onto himself, speaking like that. All right, said, but the people held their peace and answered him not a word, for the king's commandment was saying, answer him not. That's what Hezekiah was saying. And then came Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, which was over the thousand, and Shibna the scribe, and Joah the son of Asaph the recorder, to Hezekiah with their clothes rent, and told him the word of Rebshakeh. All right. So now we're gonna go to 2 Kings chapter 19, right? And it's gonna talk about Hezekiah's response to all the things that the messenger of Sennacherib has said, trying to persuade the people, trying to persuade us to turn from the Lord and trust in Him and for salvation. And that's the same thing that Esau's gonna try to do in these times, saying ain't nobody like gonna be able to save us, just like how they did in the third verse of the Star Spangled Banner, man. But the Lord said, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, for I will help thee." All right, all right. So before we go to chapter 19, I want to read this verse real quick. This is Psalms 23 and 4. It says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." Right. And we know we're going to be comforted by Yahweh by Shem Shai. And we're being comforted right now by Yahweh by Shem Shai, man. So, and he's especially going to comfort us in those times of necessity, where we're going to be presented with death, where they're going to try to force us into doing some things that's defiling to us. But the Lord's going to keep us at a sound mind, to where we're not going to have any fear in our hearts, and we're going to be content whatever Esau brings to our face, because we know our faith in the Lord is going to be able to carry us through. All right.